And I'm back. Sorry about that. She's got such a musical pull. Oh, good night, your Mendel. Right. Now, we have finished this. So, once we have... Oh, that has been completed. Fantastic. Right, I would like... It's going to take me ages to get the metal for it, though, but I would very much like to get an excavator up and running. While all of that's going on, there are a few new areas of trees I would like to get rid of, namely these ones. And to accelerate this process, I could connect this up down here in such a way that this will automatically deposit logs straight in there. And it may well be worth me doing. On both sides. The reason why I'd like to do it like this is because it's going to, drastically reduce the amount of truck back and forthing. It's not a particularly elegant solution. It doesn't look elegant to me at the very least, but it will allow me to very rapidly move all of the necessary materials in. We'll only have to move around. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to fit this in such a way that I could have hooked it up to the iron and this, so this is fine for now. We'll also set that one up for wood as well. I would like that one made as a priority, though. We are starting to accrue a nice little bit of... I could quick build this for 15. We don't have the iron, but again, the way that Unity works is that basically your colonists generate Unity when they're living well, not so much a comfortable life, but when they feel that they're being taken care of by you. And if you've kind of built up that credit of faith in your leadership, you can start making requests that would impact their quality of life. You can start asking them to give things up. It might be as simple as requesting that the workers of a certain facility work double shifts. So if it requires power, it no longer does. So I don't know whether you've got them running on, powering on bicycles or what have you, but it no longer is dependent on the electricity grid. Maybe they've hooked up private generators or something like that. Additionally, it's twice as productive, so they are literally pulling double shifts in order to make that work for you. But you can also quick build items. Now, if you already have the items to hand, then it's generally a fairly modest cost, like 1 unity to quick build it. And again, it's just pulling double shift. Everyone come together, the workers and the non-workers, just everyone carry the parts from wherever they are to this structure and get this built as fast as we can. But if you don't have the material, then they'll find the material. So in the case of metal, like I said, you might need metal for a truck, and you're like, look, okay, I know that it's nice to be able to cook with a pot, but you could get by with using a stone pot. All right, I know I'm asking a big thing. Please give up your frying pans. And also your bracelets and your necklace. We need the metal, okay? Just please, for now. We will get through this crisis together, but only if we are willing to give of ourselves will the whole manage to succeed and exit out of the other side of this apocalyptic tunnel that we find ourselves in. And if they like you, they're willing to do it. If they don't, nah, maybe not. But we have completed basic diesel, which is really, really good. With that, let's get some loose material storage. Well, actually, no. Let's go for copper smelting, because that will make us effectively independent of the copper plates that we're using right now. I'm also going to unpause the beacon. New refugees. Wow, that was quick. Thank you very much for more copper plates. Hooray, indeed. How are we doing over here? We're getting there. Wow, the soundtrack to this game is quite impressive. Exclamation mark music. It is not the soundtrack to this game. This music is... I'm just playing music in from other games on Spotify. This is from Into the Breach. So it isn't FTL anymore. It's Into the Breach. That is totally Frostpunk Fanatic Path. Well, I mean... Right, now that we have that up and running, our truck responsible for lumbering, gathering lumber is probably going to do a fairly solid job getting all of this back and forth. Let's speed up time a little bit. Alternatively, yeah, sure, 3 Unity to get that done is fine. Now, with that, we are going to want to start getting our very first oil pump up and running ASAP. It doesn't really matter where we put it over here. But now that we have it, we also have access to a fuel, or rather a liquid storage. So let's pop the liquid storage right there. And if nothing else, we can simply start piping crude oil into the storage container. Now, where am I going to perform the processing of this diesel? I would prefer the diesel to be available next to the diesel generator, if at all possible. And generally speaking, I would like all of the fuels to be somewhat more central and available to anything that's going to need it. There we go. This is going to be for diesel. It won't matter what that's for, they'll simply fill that up. Now, I could allow a truck to just simply bring that stuff over. So I could just build a distillery here without any further issue, if 'tis what I want. And... tis. Yeah, 'tis what I want. I'll leave a little bit of a gap, though. How are we doing with the excavator? We're still on our way, but it's still a little bit off. Getting there, but I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to allow the beacon to keep going for now. Let's keep full there. I'm thinking I might actually need to set another one of the trees, another one of the vehicles to wood harvesting. Once they've put any wood into these buildings at all, the building will transfer materials into the assembly. And at that point, because the assembly will understand that it is receiving materials via conveyor transport, it will stop allowing trucks to deliver that material to it. It will expect the material to come via the warehouse from that point on, so the trucks will have a single place to deposit the trees, which will be very helpful for us. Aavak, when you get to the point where you can research advanced construction, you can just upgrade your construction buildings. I noticed on your YouTube video, you just built a brand new one. Yes, I did, and there's a reason for that. Advanced construction buildings, whilst they can process materials faster, they require power. Whereas this one will take 10 seconds more to make a construction part, but will do it without power. So there is an advantage in the early game to leaving your assembly manuals making the construction parts. Later on, when power becomes less of an issue, and realistically, probably within 1 or 2 episodes of the current YouTube series, we're going to be at that point because we'll have electricity being generated via steam turbine. But right now, I would rather not have to burn off the extra diesel to make power to make construction parts when I can get them for free for only 10 seconds extra. It's basically for 50% extra time, I'm getting it made without having to burn off any of my diesel, which is ideal for me right now. I have an infinite supply of humans. I have an infinite supply of iron. What if you have an what? Look, okay, the amount of humans you would have to process to get iron out of them is vast. And that iron has to come from somewhere. We don't just magic it. We get the iron out of the stuff we eat. You can't just grow more iron magically by having humans have children when the humans aren't consuming anything that has iron in it. That's not how it works. Yeah, I love the animation on the forges as well. It's not like iron is one of the most common elements on the planet or anything. Indeed. Right, there we go. Got a little bit of extra diesel as well as a few other odds and sods. Very, very nice. Yes. How close are we to max pop now? We got plenty of room. We got plenty of room, so we're going to run that. Well, actually, no, we are going to turn her off because we're almost out of Unity now. There we go. Starting to see these having a decent amount of logs in them now. Excellent. Right, I'm going to wait until all of these are made, though we do need to lay down the piping. So diesel is going to come out here, and I'm going to say diesel can be on the ground. We'll have the diesel line running flush with the ground. It costs me relatively little to build a smokestack, so we're just going to build one, and going to place it here. Going to hook that up with another pipe, and this too can run on the ground. And also the waste water produced here. It's going to produce 2 wastewater every 20 seconds. Takes 2 every 2 seconds. Okay. I think we're probably best off placing this here and just allowing it to vent that wastewater right now, rather than anything else. So with that in mind, and one of the things I was actually covering in the episode that didn't go live today is that you can just draw across things. It's wonderful. The game understands that unless you expressly tell it to merge a pipe, you probably don't mean for that to be the thing that happens. So it'll just make a hump. And that is true even if, for example, I've built a pipe at maximum height. If I tried to cross that, notice how it can still make that happen. The game can go a little bit higher. It's just I'm not allowed to build naturally any higher than that. I'm not really sure what the reason is for that. Possibly something to do with the metal supports. Maybe I'm going to have to research that later on. But the game does allow you to just squeeze in a little bit beyond that. I'm not sure if you could cheese it, but you can definitely make use of it. Certainly. Cheesing it, I'm not so sure about. Right. Unity's starting to go back up again. Very nice to see. Oh, we've got our excavator. Thank goodness. Let's get you over there. Right, now, with that done, let me just pause this for a moment and drop down some mining designations. First and foremost, let's just grab the surface area metal. It's super easy to get to. There's no reason for us not to. I'll even dig into there, even though it will involve digging into the wall there a little bit. It's fine. Let's just mark out the surface level deposits. And try not to stray too much towards the cliff, because that is actually a lot of digging if we do that. Digging that isn't necessarily rewarding us with very much iron. There we go. Get rid of you. There we are. That deposit is now largely designated. All 4 of our trucks are currently idle, so I will designate one of them to go over there. I am then going to have a second truck being made. Now, with that, I'm going to need... Once we start fueling this via Or we're going to produce slag. I need somewhere for that slag to go. There are two things that I want to do with slag. One is I would like to level out the area here into a more straightforward dock area. So something like that would do very nicely. Because eventually we want to be bringing over automated shipments of materials. And then option number 2 is we want a ramp. 2 wide is more than enough. It's a little bit too close, but I would need to add an excavator to this in order to help them get up that last little hump there. But it's quite a ways in the future, so it should be fine. Right, now that that's done, we can allow the trucks to get to work again. Now, for 5 Unity, we can get that one done as a priority. I'm just going to speed that up instead. We've got more. Well, actually, we don't have that much. Oh, well, no, we do have that much wood. I'm going to turn Unity on here. So we should start producing the construction materials quite quickly. Oh, no. We're not just dumping the slag in the ocean. We're creating. It's effectively landfill. We're literally filling in the coastline. Now, filling it in with slag, not the smartest move, I'm going to be honest. But we'll do it anyway. We're going to pave the ocean, that's right. I love the way that the trucks make these little lines around the place. It's genuinely very, very pleasing to see that. Right, the next thing I'm going to want as well is some... How do I want to set this up? I would like our rainwater collectors around here, starting at this one. But I sort of want it to share some of the water with the city and some of the water with the fields. So this should be fine. Now, I'm going to pause it for a second because I'm just going to lay this out. Ooh, that's a little bit too close. Let's line this up a little bit better then. I'm going to lay these down, then I'm going to delete them going backwards. Except for the first one. I just want to line it up, basically. Using these as a marker. 2 will do to start with. And then I would like... two areas for water. One will go this way for the water that I'm going to use for the city. And then I'm going to have another one have to reach around and go up at the back. I've kind of not really planned this out perfectly, to be honest. Because the entry point for the water here is going to be at the back. You know what? Sure, we'll move these around. There's no reason for me to commit to something when I know it's wrong. Let's have one water with a little bit of extra room. Out there. We will have one storage which will facilitate the farms. Thinking we could have something like that here. Either that or I could have this split into 2 separate storages. That would be an interesting design, actually. I wonder how that would look. Let me just puzzle this one out. Oh, I don't think it will. Oh, what a missed opportunity. That would have been so good. That would have been so bloody amazing. Ah, alas. Such sadness. Completely missed opportunity there. Oh well. Well, I'm going to want water tanks for the plants and water tanks for the citizens. About like that. Eventually, we're probably going to migrate away from these water towers. That being said, since I'm going to want all of these entering into a tower, if I build it like this, if I turn it the other way, I could have 2 lines of them. That actually might be a much better idea. So let's do that. Sure, and that gives us a little bit more room to play with as well for the storages, because now I could have a storage here that gives me ample room to add on extra storage for the plants and extra storage again for the citizens. And we'd want a pipe going up and down. This will split the incoming water evenly between these two. And then this one can carry a water pipe all the way down to the settlement. We're quite a fair way away from setting up the fields, though, regardless. Greetings, Aavak and Dapplings. Gonna mostly be lurking. Sleep schedule's gone to the can after suffering the loss of 2 of our pet cats. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Akira Dragonborn. You have my condolences. Have fun with the game, though. And always accept the love and animal office. Well, I mean, that's you're preaching to the choir there, mate. But I'm so sorry to hear that about your 2 cats. Blast. Chat, I ordered 6 cheddar bay biscuits. They gave me 16. What? American biscuits. Are those like savory biscuits? Like crackers then? What? I don't know. Still, I would actually kind of like this to be done as a priority over here. Have we finished the pump? Yes, we have. We're slowly starting to pump the tank full. I'm going to need all of this done as a priority, actually. So let's get on that, shall we? There we are. Copper smelting is complete. Let's get loose material storage. Then we'll go for construction level 2. We'll also speed things up a little bit. Dinner biscuits, like bread rolls. Oh, okay. American biscuits are more fluffy. Kind of like scones a bit. Okay. You live in a shipping container. The lines between storage and housing get pretty blurry. Well, true. The tree chopping, the lumber trucks are having a long way to go. But we will very soon be moving most of our industry, chat. I want to get the diesel production up and running before we do that. Could also specifically start bringing in more Unity so that I can get this done a little bit faster, but I think this is a better way of doing it, honestly. Once we have water being piped into the homes, that is going to greatly improve the overall happiness of the colony. Let's pop a water storage there and then pop 2 food markets here. So we'll have plenty of storage for that. Loose material storage. Now time to learn about construction 2. There we go. Getting there. You only need 2 more things done, and then we are ready to go. I could quick build this already, so let's go ahead and get that done. Only wastewater needs to be dealt with here. I would like the cargo here to be emptied out wherever possible. So you go ahead with that. Just start filling this up because that means that the diesel generator will always be kept full. Hey Aavak, I saw a couple buying a baby ferret the other day. I told them about your videos in hopes they will give it a very good care and not feed it pellets. Oh, that's very kind of you. I hope they enjoy the ferrets. I can't imagine that they wouldn't, but that is to say, I hope they have done their research and they know what they're getting themselves in for. You know, the fact that it's explicitly diesel makes a lot of sense. Apparently, diesel engines can be tweaked to run on a stupidly wide range of fuels and under stupidly adverse conditions. Yes. No, there's a reason why a lot of like work vehicles run on diesel, not petrol. And why like subs run on diesel. And why like quite a lot of ships run on diesel. The diesel is objectively a more versatile fuel. It is not high performance fuel, however, except depending on your metric of high performance. But generally speaking, I think most people understand what I mean when I say it's not high performance fuel. Right, there we go. Now we just need to keep this full. We will set up a fuel storage of coal there, because we need this to never be empty. And sadly, it doesn't look like I can connect. Oh no, I can! Ha ha! Truly the greatest of days. For now, that will work. Sure, let's set that one up as well. I want this one to have crude oil in it, this one to have coal in it. Very happy with that. Next up, we can start piping over the crude oil that we've stockpiled. It's not a lot, of course, but it'll do. You notice how the height that I'm making it, because I'm actually lowering the height down here and I can only build at a certain height, it's having to lower the overall pipe's height that I'm trying to build. Amusing. About here will do. Then straight across. Dunk. And straight in. Let's try and connect it up here at least. There we go. That way we can have easy access to the coal area there. Is that set up? Yep, that is set up. Perfect. Okay, we've got water going up. I would actually like this to be done as a priority. And this to be done as a priority. Because I would very, very much like to start sending water over to the people in the town. We're going to need to draw out to the side a bit. Is that going to be too... Oh no, we can actually connect there. Fantastic. Okay. Don't eat the cookies. They are a lie. Has headache from eating chocolate chip cookies when I can't have chocolate. That does not sound very, very sensible. Aavak's about half a unity away from anarchy in the UK. What? The spread of priority 9 begins. No. I'm prioritizing particular jobs. Like, I don't really care what part of all of this gets done first, simply because it won't make a difference, it all needs to be done for any of it to work. So the entire thing gets prioritized. Really doesn't matter which one of them gets finished first. But it is important that that gets done before any of this gets done, because this whole system is still functional right now without the pipes or any of this. This will just make it a bit easier for me. You see where I'm coming from? We're not going to start that up because I actually can't tell them not to prioritize building something. All I can do is tell them to stop doing it at all. So we'll hold off on that one. But these are very expensive pipes. 83 construction parts there. 59 over here. At least pipes don't require electricity to work. Oh no. Oh, I may have introduced the silly. My excavators may have a very long bloody trip now. Oh dear. Because eventually they're going to make sure that the excavators do actually follow the rules of not being able to go into pipes. And then I'm buggered. If Aavak goes to 0 Unity on the 5th of November, we know the crisis. Remember the gun. The 5th of November. The gunpowder, treason, and plot. Right, with that done, fuel station is probably the next thing that we're going to want to grab. Though, captain's office would be very nice, simply because right now, with the captain's office, now, we can't make any of it, which is why I'm not prioritizing conveyor belts, because honestly, that's probably the smartest thing and the next thing I want to be able to build. But the captain's office is going to be super useful for us, because we are going to want to be able to use those edicts to generate and spend Unity. Can't I train the diggers to jump their way out? No, sadly they lack the intelligence of ferrets. Ferrets have savant-level intelligence when it comes to navigation. I'm fairly certain they are as dumb as bricks when it comes to, spatial awareness when they're excited. Because when they're weasel war dancing, it does not matter what is around. They will clonk into everything and everything. Even the things that you didn't even know were there. But when it comes to getting from A to B, especially if they're not meant to get from A to B, savant level skills. It's like the A-team had a baby with MacGyver. The whole A-team. It is honestly kind of scary how clever they are when it comes to getting somewhere. Especially if they think they're being mischievous by doing so. There is no burying pipes. I'm not sure if there's any plans to make that a thing, though. Maybe there is. It would be quite cool, not going to lie. Okay, we've got this set up. So now if there is water, they will deliver it over here. So technically, yep, there we go. We've got some water being brought down. We're going to get some more Unity. Woo! There we go. But sadly, we are now also producing wastewater. So we're going to need to hook that up to the waste area down there. Right now, they can deliver it via truck. Actually, I'm not sure if there is enough of a internal storage there for them to do that. But it's going to take a while for the wastewater to get really unpleasant over here. Still, it is something we want to try and move out of here as fast as we can. So let's do that, shall we? By about here, I want it to be max height. Let's not have the wastewater go straight out in front of this. How much would it cost for me to bring a pipe over there? 48 to bring a pipe over there. Whereas I could possibly squirrel a pipe down here. Much ado about nothing, really, the difference in cost. So I'm not really sure there's much use to it. Where could I put a waste pipe? Wastewater pipe. I could squeeze one in there. I could technically squeeze one in here. In front of the ship. Not an ideal spot, though. No, I think I'm going to accept the higher cost for the prettier design here. It is not going to be efficient, but it will itch my brain less. And having a less itchy brain is a good thing. Let's bring this along, and then all the way down to about... Oh, is that not possible to go there? No, we can. Right, from this point we can go down and then hook up. It is a very expensive pipe. 63. But I'll accept it. Right now we're actually bringing in a decent amount of unity because they've got water. Hooray! We've got water. They seem to say. Oh, and they can stock quite a lot over there. That's perfect. Very pleased. Right, that said, though, we are going to need more water itself, so time for us to get quite a few of these built. Now, when it rains, I'm fairly certain my pipes can have a throughput of 1 per second. Alright. So we're going to drain these slowly. But that's alright. Gotta say, the soundtrack for Into the Breach is actually pretty good. I like it. It meets with my approval, chat. Make the Zoom poop deck real again. No. Hey, Plumber Smack, how you doing, mate? Thank you so much for the Prime sub. And diolch yn fawr iawn for the cheer, Shackle Draconis. And Gearsworth, how you doing, buddy? Diesel, Steam, this game is speaking my language. I know, right? Apparently there's biodiesel later in the tech tree. Let's have a second to have a look at that. You're gonna love it. I promise you will love the way that you can just recycle steam and the various byproducts through all of this. You can make a really efficient system, and it is so glorious to do. But biodiesel. Biodiesel. Oil distillation down here. It's a different sort of distillation. So I could distill the heavy distillate. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Large seawater pump, advanced diesel. And now you get in there. Water recovery. So you can turn steam back into water. There is exhaust filtration. Wastewater recovery. There's so many systems later on that you can make for this sort of stuff. It's glorious. Plastic and goods, power generation, power generator 2, electric Well. I didn't know that was a thing, but it makes a lot of sense. Solar panels. I'm not seeing anything to do with biodiesel. Gold smelting. Oh well. But we've got the captain's office all set up. We need to look into fuel station next, I'm going to say. Electric boiler boogaloo. Indeed. Golno. What are we going to do with you? Wish me luck, chat. I just put in an offer on a home. Out of 8 people who bid, We were the lowest, but the owner is considering our offer and one of... Oh, best of luck, mate. I shall keep all of my fingers crossed for you, which is going to make playing the game very difficult, but I am up to the challenge. It is actually incredibly difficult. My goodness. There's not going to be any fine planning work. Oh, it's so hard to just scroll the mouse wheel. Ah! Nevertheless, I'm going to do it. Actually, you know what? Belial is going to keep all of their fingers crossed on my behalf. There we go. I have delegated the responsibility of the finger crossing. Right, so far we've got more than enough diesel, which is glorious. But that is not always going to be the case. We've got a lot of things being built simultaneously. I would like these to be built as a priority over the others. The same with these pipes, because there's no point in having them if we're not piping that out. I would also like this pipe to be constructed very, very soon. In fact, I'm just going to straight up build that one automatically. Let's get rid of the wastewater, please. We just sounded the alarm. We pulled everyone out of their homes. It's like, come on, we've got to have a community build project. We're making a poop pipe. It is impossible to articulate just how much of a life improvement having this pipe is going to be. Or specifically, how much of a crisis avoidance mechanism having this pipe is going to be. And as expected, everyone pulled together for that project. No, seriously, best of luck, mate. I'm really going to be hoping for you. Though it's interesting that you say that you know, that yours was the lowest offer, but the owner is considering. In Scotland, you've got we have a system to specifically avoid that. It's secret ballot. Basically, when you're buying a house, you make a bid. But then all of the bids are sealed. There is no consideration on who made the bid. That information is scrubbed, and it's literally goes to the best bid. No one can know what other people have bid. So you know you can try and get a house for cheap by underbidding what you could bid, or you can just be willing to pay over the odds to ensure that you get it. But and I know that there's pros and cons to all systems, but it's an interesting thing to be aware of. It's like how lots of people kind of blanch at the idea that Scotland has no trespass laws. It's got breaking and entering laws, but it hasn't got trespass laws. As long as someone doesn't have to break anything in order to enter your garden, they're completely free to do so. If like you've got a tiny little like door and it's like not latched or anything, they can just walk straight in. There's no law against doing that. If they have to do anything, if they have to break into it, like they have to smash the lock or something to get in the door, then they are now guilty of breaking and entering, but they're not guilty of trespass. Such a thing does not exist. There's significant laws about that protect people's rights to ramble as well. Like, if you've built a property, like if you're buying a house over here, you need to be very aware of what land that house is built on. Because just because it's a house does not mean that people won't have a right to wake you up at any time of the morning and have you open your front door and back door to allow them to pass through. I mean, you'd have to be a special kind of dick to do that to someone. Let's be perfectly honest. You've got to be a special type of dick to do that to someone. But legally, you are allowed to. The fault, I'm not going to say the fault is all yours, because you're standing up for your rights. But it's like, really? It's not their fault. It's not the house owner's fault. It's the person who built it's fault. But, you know, after a point, there's only so many ways you can get people to be more aware of the law. It's a weird place, you know. So again, I think you have to be a special type of person to make some family's life a misery by enforcing your rights to ramble across a ramble path. The builder should never have built the house there. But, you know, it is what it is.